Hello and welcome to part 3 of Project Horror. In this episode I'm going to be introducing you to some new enemy types, some new textures, as well as a really awesome new mechanic which I think I'm going to start with because I'm really quite happy with it. However, a lot's changed in my game in the last few days, so I'm also going to be pinning my load order into the comment section below so you guys can see it. I'm just a nice guy like that, so remember to like and subscribe. Leave your own comments and any suggestions you've got, I always appreciate that. Without any further ado, let's get on with this. Getting right on in there, I'm going to start with Frozen Electrocuted Combustion Realistic by Power of 3. Not sure if they're a Charmed fan. If they are, I can relate. Either way, this thing comes in at 16.9 megabytes and what it does is fantastic. When you use your flames or any fire spell on a person, they become charred. When you use ice, they freeze and sometimes smash, and shock, they can disintegrate or they can just absolutely shake down to the floor. This really is brilliant. It graphically and immersively adds to the game, which I know I'm always looking for in my mods, and I know a bunch of people that are also doing the same. There are multiple versions of this. There's the standard and realistic. The standard features bodies combusting into skeletons, whilst realistic leaves behind the charred body instead. Now, I'm going for realistic because realistic allows me to char down a whole bunch of other things using something like flames or firebolt. But I would suggest that try them out yourselves. Unfortunately, you will require a clean save for this one because it changes quite a massive portion of the game. I know it's a small file, but it still changes something like the death mechanics of people. Now obviously you've been watching it go along on this screen right now, and I think you can probably agree that it's really quite cool. Maybe it doesn't have the highest graphic fidelity, but when you think about what normally happens when you kill someone in this game, it adds in a level of gore that I'm going to suggest does really work well with the horror ethos I'm going for. Now up next, and shockingly you're going to be hearing Mihail's mods again, is Giant Snakes by said author. These obviously add in snakes. Now where you find them, generally speaking, is by the ocean side or by rivers. I want to add that this is the first monster to have killed me in about 3 years of playing this game, and I'm willing to play on the hardest modes with the hardest mods added in. This thing beat me and I was shocked, and now I don't think I'll go a game without playing with them. Now the reason it killed me is because it has a really strong poison mechanic, so be prepared for that. Bring potions if you want to come up and face against them. I'm going to let you watch that right now, including the death of me. Despite the fact that I rather embarrassingly died to these, I would say they could do with being a little bit more aggressive. Otherwise, I really like what they're about. Now, a really cool thing is if you go towards some of the pirate areas, you'll actually come across some of them riding these beasts, and those ones are even harder than the one I just died to. I don't dare go across them this early into a save file. However, I'd suggest you give it a shot if you're a little bit up those levels, because it gives a really nice challenge. They're a little bit more together and mindful and brutal when they've got their rider. So go find them, give them a shot. I think you're going to quite like that. Anyway, on to the next mod. My last one from Mihail today. That's right, 3 in the last episode, 2 in this one, and there'll probably be more in the future. I'm a really big fan of this guy. So, I'm using Foglings. I will also state technically I am also using goblins because I think immersively speaking, if you don't have goblins but you do have foglings, it feels a bit weird to me, but that's entirely on you. So let's give them a little bit of a look here.
Who's there?
I'm sure you can appreciate just how creepy those things are. It's even worse when you are in a fog or a storm or a blizzard and you can't see quite perfectly, and the only thing you can hear is their little weird laughter. Obviously, I've had to go to a place where I knew they were going to show up because I thought that was like a really good way of showing them off. However, there are much more spooky encounters with these guys. They come in multiple forms and variations as well, and it's only 20 megabytes. I really suggest having these ones on, especially if you're going to be playing through kind of a Dawnguard playthrough, because they really appear quite a lot during that storyline. Last up is Spectre, the Ultimate Ghost Appearance Enhancement, which is 2.5 kilobytes. Seriously, 2.5 kilobytes. This is the easiest to fit in texture mod of all of them you'll ever come across. All it really does is make the thing transparent, and that's what you want from a ghost, being that they're supposed to be transparent. I know it's in the name, but I'm going to say it anyway. This makes things more spectral. It makes it feel like a ghost is supposed to feel, and if I'm trying to play a spooky game, ghosts that can sneak up on me is a really great place to start. Although ironically, I'm finishing with it.